Okay, Branson, this video is for you. I have your Quattro Volante q49. All right. So anyway, let's get started here. So I'm going to connect to Betaflight. I'll show you the settings real quick. So for the ports, we got UART1, serial RX. So just how it looks. You don't ever want to turn this one off right here. If you turn this off, then you're not gonna be able to connect to Betaflight anymore, and you're gonna have to flash the flight controller to be able to make it work again. Configuration, we got D-Shot 600, 8K, 8K. Turn these two off. Accelerometer is on. Arm angle at 180 so that you could arm at any angle. Board and sensor alignment, yaw degrees is -135. Serial based receiver and iBus. And that's it for this. Power and battery, I got warning for set to 3 and minimum set to 2.8. Here's the PID tuning. Receiver, I'm not sure what FlySky uses for the channel map. I'm thinking it's AETR1234, but I don't know for sure, so you might need to change that if the channel mapping isn't correct. Mine is TAER1234, but I have an X9D FrSky. Modes, you got ARM for auxiliary 1. I don't know if this is the direction that it would be for you to arm. You might have to change some of this stuff for FlySky because I just don't know what FlySky uses. And then here's the motors tab. So we're gonna spin up the motors to show you that they're spinning and that they're spinning the right way. Plug in the battery. Motor 1's going to be kind of hard to do, but it'll work. So motor 1's right here off to the side of the USB, and I'm going to spin that up. You can see it spinning. And it's going clockwise. It's making a sound because it's rubbing against the USB. Here's motor 2. And it's going counterclockwise. Motor 3. That's counterclockwise as well. And motor 4. And that's going clockwise. So all the motors are good to go. They all sound good. They're spinning how they're supposed to. Everything's good there. So let's disconnect and we'll go back to my table and I'll show you the rest. Okay, put this motor back on. Look how close the props get. I mean, look at that. It's going just under the receiver. So I had to put the receiver behind the camera. You have to put the wires a certain way too. There's a little slot in the camera mount right here. And I mean, if you were to run the wires straight off this side, the prop would just hit it. You know, you can't do that. You have to make them go across and then into the slot and underneath. It's the only way it works. And just look how close that is. I mean, look how close it is to the mount too. It's just insanely close. Up front, not as close, but well, when you get to where that screw is, it's pretty damn close. It's like 0.5 millimeter or something. I still got to put a screw in the front and in the back hole too. This one goes just over the flight controller plug. Well, I guess it's a couple millimeters above it. Yeah, so none of them hit though. I mean, you saw when I spun up the motors. It's super close though. And then the receiver antenna, I don't know where I'm going to put that. I guess I could try to tuck it into there, but when you have this prop on, it's super close to these wires too. These props, they say that they're a 1mm shaft hole, but I had to hollow them out a whole bunch. But they're a nice tight fit too. So yeah, see how close it is to the wires already? Or it could come straight up like that. This thing is just so tiny. I've built a couple of these before, but it's been a long time. It's just so tiny. Let me grab a tiny whoop for comparison. So look at that. It looks about half the size almost. And this is a 65S frame. So this is 2S also. Usually when people make these, they make them 1S, but I'm not a fan of the brushless 1Ss. So hopefully this flies good for you. And the way that I soldered the motors, it was kind of a pain in the ass, but it was a lot cleaner. You can see from the bottom there's no wires on the bottom at all. But I did tin all the pads for you so that if you ever have to replace a motor, you won't have to do it the way that I did, because if you did, you would have to take the entire thing apart to be able to make it look that clean, because you can see the wires just come straight out from inside to the top there. Right there. And there. That's just so that, you know, when you crash and stuff and go into branches or anything, bushes or whatever, you know, the motor wires aren't going to get stuck on anything. But if you ever had to replace a motor, you could just do it to the bottom. Let me show you the video. And then these batteries that you sent, I've never seen these before. They're giant power, 250 milliamp hour. They're pretty tiny. The 2S. So I put the JST on it. Still need to do it to the other one. But yeah, I haven't even looked at the video yet. It's on channel F1. And it looks pretty good. Hopefully you can see that. And it's on F1. Alright, so I think that's about it. Oh, and the bind button, well, I showed you where the receiver is. The bind button is just right there on the top. Very easy to get to. I can just push it with my finger right here. No problem. Oh, and I will conformal coat that as well for you. And maybe the bottom or something. I don't have very much left. It's almost empty. So, whatever I can do, I'll do. These things are just so tiny. I mean, even for me, I mean, it wasn't really difficult for me, and I've already done a few of these before, but, you know, as I'm building it, I'm thinking to myself, like, you got to be pretty good at building quads to to put one of these together and make it look good and actually function. But yeah, that would be really nice if, you know, the stack was facing forward. It'd be very easy to be able to just plug the USB right into the side right there. I mean, there's nothing in the way, you know. There's got to be some way to do that and still be able to move the props. I'm thinking, see, look how high up the props are from the flight controller. You still would have room to have some kind of camera mount that sits underneath the prop line, but then the camera, you know, is in the middle to where the props don't hit it. It would work. Somebody just needs to design it. This video is just really long and boring. Sorry, I haven't been awake for very long. It's early in the morning, and I just wanted to get this done because I need to ship it tomorrow. Alright, Branson, if you have any questions, hit me up. Enjoy your vacation and enjoy your quad when you get back. Alright, thanks, man.